Hi, and welcome to Clappia. If you're looking for a way to make your apps more efficient and save a little extra time, in this video we will see how to have apps that automatically submit. Let's say you have a feedback app. You can immediately input ratings, the app will auto-submit once it's all filled in, and the next can be filled in by another. Or let's say it's for an event or visitation check-in. People can scan QR codes and the app will auto-detect what's embedded in the code and submit. There are many use cases where this is useful, such as for attendance, delivery confirmations, surveys, inventories, etc. Let me take an example to show you how to do this. I'll make a feedback form, so I'll click on New App. This will be very basic since I'm just taking an example. I'll name the app first, then click on Add Section and give a name to the section on the right-hand panel. Save it. I'll click on Add Field. Now the main thing to remember is that for an app to auto-submit, there are certain fields that allow this. Namely, the code scanner block, NFC reader, ratings, the camera images and files block, and the live tracking block. If your apps contain these fields, then you can have auto-submissions. Now, I'll add few fields that normally goes into a feedback form. I can add a date field. Save this. Next, I'll add a time field. And now I'll use the ratings block to capture ratings. I'll add a parameter here in the label. If you'd like to know how to configure the ratings block, there is a separate video. I will link it in the description. I'll keep the rating value as it is for now. Maybe disable this option and save it. I'll add some more ratings block for other parameters. I'll speed this up. Okay, now I've added all the parameters using the ratings block. Now if I were to go to App Home, the app will look like this, where I will have to input all data and then click on Submit to make a submission. To auto-submit, once the ratings have been filled in the Design app, scroll to the bottom where you can see the Submit button. Click over here and on the right panel, scroll to the bottom where you see this option that says Select Fields for Auto-Submit. When you click on the drop-down, here you can select the fields that are applicable for auto-submission. Basically, what it means is, if you select any of these fields that you've added to your app, once they are filled in, the app will automatically submit. You'll understand this better when I go to App Home. First, I'll select these. These are all the ratings block that I've added to the app. If you were to add any other field that is applicable for auto-submission, like I mentioned earlier, such as the live tracking block, the camera block, the NFC reader, and if you have added those to your app, they will appear over here. Okay, now that I've selected fields for auto-submission, I'll go back to App Home. Now over here, I'll input the date and time, and I'll make my selections for the ratings. Once I do that, you can see the app automatically makes the submission. Now what if I input the selections for all the ratings block first? Since I've selected all the ratings block for auto-submission, only if all the fields are filled in will the app automatically submit before the date and time. If I were to do that, the app will still automatically submit. Do note, for auto-submission, if all the fields that are applicable for auto-submission are already filled in prior to the other fields, then the app will automatically submit. So do ensure that those fields are filled in last. Now, if your app has automatically made a submission and you would like to be redirected to App Home, then you can do that by going back to Design app, scroll to the bottom where the Submit button is. On the right panel, scroll to the bottom and for the option Select Action After Successful Submission, click over here and select where you would like to be redirected. So let's say I select Return to App Home. You can give the duration in seconds, save it. Now I'll go back to App Home, make a submission. It was automatically submitted and immediately redirected me back to App Home. You can also configure workflows for your apps. So the moment a submission has been made automatically, any workflows configured will be immediately triggered. You can check out our video on how to configure workflows. It'll be linked in the description. Let me take another example for scanning QR codes. I'll make another app. So I'll go back to Dashboard and click on New App. I'll name this app as Inventory. Add a section. Name the section on the right panel. Click on Add Field. Similar to the feedback form, I'll add a date field. I'll add a time field. In this, if I want to automatically capture the time, I can do that as well as automatically capturing the date. Now to scan QR codes, I can use the code scanner block, which is applicable for auto submission. So here I will change the label to scan product code, and in the advanced section, I don't really need any changes, so I'll just simply click on save. I'll add another field, let's say a single line text block, to capture the quantity. Save this. Now again, where the submit button is, I click over here, scroll to the bottom on the right panel, and for select fields for auto submit, you can see only the code scanner block is available, the one that I've added to the app. Save this. Now I'll go to app home. You can see the date and time is automatically captured as per my configuration. Now over here I've given some quantity, and if I were to manually type in a code, you can see the app does not auto-submit. However, if I were to click on the button over here to actually scan a QR code or a barcode, the code scanner has detected it. You can view all your submissions under the Submissions tab, and you can see all the details. This auto-submission feature will also work on the Clappia mobile app. If you do not have that already, you can download it either on Play Store or App Store, and the moment you create your app, you'll be able to use it instantly. So in this way, you can have apps for automatic submission. If you have any query about auto submission or on any other feature in Clappia, you can always request support by clicking on the button over here, or you can directly contact us at contact@clappia.com, and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you.